Ladies, have you ever wondered what men actually notice about you? I mean, beyond the obvious. Most women assume men only pay attention to the surface level things. Your looks, your outfit, maybe your smile if they're being particularly observant. But here's the truth. Men notice way more than you think. And sometimes it's the things you least expect that have the biggest impact. So today I'm going to share with you 7 surprising things men secretly notice about you. Things that most women have no idea are even on a man's radar. Your energy when you walk into a room. Before you even say a word, before you even make eye contact, a man has already noticed something about you, your energy. It's not about how you look, what you're wearing, or how perfectly you've done your makeup. It's the way you carry yourself, the way you hold space in a room, the invisible yet powerful presence you bring with you. And whether you realize it or not, this energy speaks louder than anything else. Men are incredibly perceptive to the energy of a woman, even if they can't always articulate it. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a party and immediately felt drawn to a certain person without knowing exactly why? Maybe they weren't the loudest in the room. Maybe they weren't even conventionally the most attractive, but something about them made them stand out. That something is energy. Energy isn't about being extroverted or the life of the party. It's not about demanding attention or making a grand entrance. It's about how you hold yourself. Do you walk into a room with your shoulders back, head held high, with a quiet confidence that says, I belong here? Or do you shrink into the background, hoping not to be noticed? Do you move through a space with a sense of purpose, or do you hesitate as if unsure of yourself? The truth is, men pick up on these subtle cues. A woman who radiates confidence, real effortless confidence, is incredibly attractive. Not because she's seeking validation, but because she exudes a self-assuredness that makes people around her take notice. It's not arrogance. It's an unshakable belief in her own worth. And that kind of energy is magnetic. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room to have a strong presence. Some of the most captivating women are the ones who exude a calm, collected, and inviting energy. They don't need to be at the center of attention. Instead, they create a sense of warmth and intrigue that naturally draws people toward them. On the flip side, if a woman walks into a room with insecurity, doubt, or discomfort written all over her body language, men notice that too. If she's fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, or appearing tense, it sends a subconscious signal that she's not comfortable in her own skin. And the truth is, if you're not comfortable with yourself, it's difficult for others to feel comfortable around you. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever met someone whose energy felt heavy? Someone who, without saying a word, gave off a vibe of stress, anxiety, or negativity. It's draining, isn't it? Now compare that to someone who walks into a space with a light, open energy. Someone who makes you feel at ease just by being around them. That's the power of energy. It affects not only how others perceive you, but also how they feel in your presence. One of the biggest misconceptions is that you need to change who you are to have the right kind of energy. But the truth is, the most attractive energy is authenticity. It's about being fully present, embracing who you are and allowing that to shine through. It's about stepping into a room and owning your space, not because you need attention, but because you deserve to be there. So how do you cultivate this kind of energy? It starts with how you feel about yourself before you even walk through the door. Confidence isn't something you put on like an outfit. It's something you develop internally. The way you talk to yourself, the way you carry yourself when no one is watching, the way you show up in everyday life. These all shape the energy you project. The next time you enter a room, take a second to check in with yourself. Are you walking in with an energy that says, I'm excited to be here, or one that says, I hope no one notices me? The difference between the two is everything. And trust me, men notice. How you react to small moments, the way you react to small moments says more about you than you might think. It's in these seemingly insignificant interactions that your true nature is revealed. And trust me, men are paying attention. Attraction isn't just about the big things, the grand gestures, the deep conversations, or the way you look when you walk into a room. It's about the little details, the ones you don't even realize you're showing. These are the moments where a man gets a glimpse of who you truly are, beyond what you say or how you present yourself. Picture this. You're out at a restaurant and the waiter accidentally brings you the wrong order. It's not a big deal, right? Just a small mistake. But how you handle that moment speaks volumes. Do you laugh it off, make a lighthearted joke and politely ask for the correct dish? Or do you get irritated, roll your eyes and act as if the world just threw you a personal insult? A man watching this is learning more about you than you realize. He's seeing whether you're easygoing or high maintenance, whether you handle inconveniences with grace or let them ruin your mood. The same goes for moments of kindness. How do you treat the barista who hands you your coffee? Do you give them a warm smile and say thank you, or do you barely acknowledge them as you grab your cup and move on? Men notice this. They see whether you show appreciation to the people around you, even in small, everyday interactions. A woman who is naturally kind and considerate in these moments sends a strong message about the kind of person she is, and that's something a man finds deeply attractive. Then there are the moments when life throws you a curveball. When you spill your drink, trip over your own feet, or forget something important. How do you react? Do you laugh at yourself and move on? Or do you get flustered, embarrassed, or even frustrated? A man who is paying attention is watching to see how you handle imperfection. No one expects you to be flawless, but the way you react when things don't go perfectly is what makes you truly captivating. A woman who can embrace life's little mishaps with humor and confidence instantly becomes more attractive. She shows that she doesn't take herself too seriously and that she can roll with the punches, which makes being around her feel effortless and fun. On the flip side, a negative reaction to small moments can send a very different message. If you're quick to snap at people, get defensive, or act entitled over minor inconveniences, it's a red flag. It tells a man that being around you might feel like walking on eggshells, never knowing when something small might set you off. No man wants to feel like he has to constantly manage someone else's mood over things that in the grand scheme of life don't really matter. Even your reactions to positive things play a role. If someone gives you a compliment, do you brush it off and downplay it? Or do you accept it with a smile and a simple thank you? A woman who is comfortable receiving kindness is just as attractive as one who gives it. It shows confidence and self-worth, and men find that incredibly appealing. Ultimately, it's in these everyday moments that your true personality shines through. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to put on a show. But if you handle small moments with grace, kindness, and a little bit of humor, you'll leave an impression far more powerful than any outfit, hairstyle, or perfectly crafted social media post ever could. Men may not always be able to explain why they feel drawn to a woman, but more often than not, it's because she makes the everyday feel effortless and enjoyable. That's the kind of energy that stays with someone long after the moment has passed. The way you play with your hair. The way you play with your hair is one of those subtle, almost unconscious behaviors that men notice far more than you might think. It's not just about how your hair looks, it's about what you do with it, the little gestures that reveal something about you in the moment. Hair is such a natural part of you that you probably don't even think about the way you interact with it. But trust me, men do. Imagine you're sitting across from a guy on a date, and without realizing it, you tuck a strand of hair behind your ear while you listen to him talk. That small, effortless movement can send a powerful message. It's intimate in a way that words aren't. It's an action that feels soft, feminine, and engaged. A man watching you do this might not even consciously register why he finds it attractive, but he does. It's the kind of subtle gesture that pulls him in, making him feel like you're present in the moment with him. Then there's the classic hair flip. It's a move that has been immortalized in movies, music videos, and even in real life when a woman walks into a room with confidence. A quick sweep of the hair over the shoulder, a light toss, or a shake of the head to adjust your hair can create a moment that catches a man's attention instantly. It's not just about the movement itself, but what it represents. It's confidence, it's playfulness. It's an unspoken way of drawing attention without trying too hard. Of course, there's also the more subconscious hair twirling. You might do it when you're deep in thought, nervous, or even flirting without realizing it. Twirling a strand of hair around your finger while listening to someone talk can make you seem engaged, playful, or even a little mysterious. A man watching you do this might find it completely endearing, as it gives him the feeling that you're enjoying the conversation, even if you don't outright say it. It's a silent but powerful signal that you're interested or comfortable in his presence. But hair playing doesn't always have to be about attraction. It can also reveal how you're feeling in a given moment. Running your fingers through your hair in frustration or exhaling while you push your hair back can show stress or distraction. Men pick up on these things even if you don't verbalize them. If you're constantly fidgeting with your hair in an anxious way, pulling at the ends or touching it repeatedly, it might signal nervousness or discomfort. A perceptive man will notice this and might even respond accordingly, either by trying to ease the tension or picking up on the idea that something isn't quite right. There's also something incredibly intimate about a woman pulling her hair up into a ponytail or letting it down. If you've ever been around a guy when you casually tied your hair back, you might have caught him watching. Why? Because it's a raw, unfiltered moment of femininity. It's effortless, but there's something captivating about the way hair moves, the way it falls, the way you adjust it. It's real, and men are naturally drawn to that. Even the simple act of brushing your fingers through your hair can be captivating. Whether you're smoothing it out absent-mindedly, shaking it out after a long day, or even fixing it before heading out, there's a natural beauty in the movement. It's a reminder of softness, care, and effortless allure. Ultimately, the way you play with your hair isn't something you need to force or exaggerate. It's one of those natural feminine behaviors that men notice instinctively. It's not about trying to seduce someone. It's about being present, being yourself, and letting those small, effortless moments speak for themselves. Men are drawn to authenticity, and the way you interact with your own hair is just one of those little things that make you uniquely you, your voice and how you speak. Your voice is one of the most powerful tools you have when it comes to attraction, connection, and influence. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it. The tone, rhythm, and warmth in your voice create an impression before the words themselves even register. A man might not always be able to pinpoint exactly why he feels drawn to a woman's voice, but he knows when he does. It's one of those subconscious elements that can make someone unforgettable. Think about the voices that stand out to you. Maybe it's someone with a smooth, calming tone that instantly puts you at ease. Maybe it's a voice that's full of energy and excitement, making you feel like you want to listen to every word. Whatever the case, voices carry emotion, and emotion is what makes people feel connected. When a man listens to you speak, he's not just processing your words, he's feeling your energy. A woman who speaks with warmth and enthusiasm can make even the most ordinary conversation feel engaging. On the other hand, a monotone voice, a rushed pace, or a lack of expression can make it hard for someone to feel emotionally connected to what you're saying. One of the things men notice almost immediately is the tone of your voice. A soft, inviting tone naturally draws people in. It signals warmth, kindness, and approachability. It's the kind of voice that makes a man want to lean in closer and listen, but a harsh or overly sharp tone can have the opposite effect. If your voice carries a constant edge, whether from stress, frustration, or just habit, it can create a barrier between you and the person you're speaking to. Then there's pace. Have you ever met someone who talks so fast that it feels like they're racing through their words? It can feel overwhelming, even stressful to keep up with them. On the other hand, speaking too slowly or hesitantly can make you seem unsure of yourself. The key is balance, speaking at a natural, confident pace that keeps the listener engaged without making them feel rushed or restless. Another powerful element is intonation. Have you ever noticed how some people's voices seem to rise at the end of every sentence, as if they're constantly asking a question? This can make them seem unsure of themselves, even when they're making a statement. On the flip side, a voice that is too flat with no rise and fall can come across as dull or unengaged. The most captivating speakers use natural intonation, adding emphasis where it matters, letting their voice rise and fall in a way that keeps the listener hooked. And then there's laughter, one of the most attractive sounds in the world. A genuine, effortless laugh is contagious. It tells a man that you're comfortable, that you enjoy the moment, and that you have a playful side. There's something deeply attractive about a woman who isn't afraid to laugh freely. It's a signal of confidence, joy, and lightness. Your voice also reveals how you feel about yourself. A confident woman's voice has a different energy. It's steady, clear, and expressive. It doesn't have to be loud or commanding, but it carries an unspoken message. I know who I am, and I'm comfortable in my own skin. A hesitant or overly apologetic voice, on the other hand, can send the opposite message. If you constantly use phrases like, I don't know if this makes sense, or sorry, I'm probably talking too much, it can undermine your words no matter how insightful they are. The beauty of your voice isn't about having the perfect pitch or sounding a certain way. It's about authenticity. A voice that feels real, warm, and confident will always be attractive. When you speak with emotion, when you allow yourself to express excitement, curiosity, or passion, it makes people want to listen. The next time you have a conversation, pay attention to more than just the words. Notice how you're saying them. Speak with warmth, with confidence, with presence, because when you do, people, especially men, won't just hear you, they'll feel you. And that's what makes all the difference. Your eyes, when you're interested, your eyes are one of the most powerful tools of connection. They reveal emotions before words even leave your lips. Whether you're interested in someone or not, your eyes will always give you away. Men notice this far more than you might think. A single glance, the way your gaze lingers, or the way you look away too quickly, it all sends a message. And the truth is, men are wired to pick up on these signals, even if they don't always realize it consciously. Think about the last time you felt drawn to someone. Did your eyes naturally seek them out across the room? Did you find yourself holding their gaze for just a second longer than usual? That unspoken exchange carries more weight than any conversation. When you're interested, your eyes soften, your pupils dilate, and there's a warmth that can be felt even from across the room. A man who catches that kind of gaze feels something instinctual, something that tells him you're engaged, present, and intrigued by him. On the other hand, when you're not interested, your eyes tell an entirely different story. A man can feel the difference when your gaze is distant, distracted, or simply not engaging with him at all. If your eyes dart around the room while he's talking, if you avoid eye contact, or if you glance at your phone more than at him, he picks up on it. Even if he doesn't say anything, deep down he knows. A lack of eye engagement is one of the clearest signs of disinterest, and most men won't pursue something when they sense they're not holding your attention. But there's a deeper layer to this, beyond attraction, beyond interest or disinterest. Your eyes also reveal your energy, your confidence, and how present you are in a moment. When a woman looks directly at a man with steady, engaged eye contact, it signals confidence. It tells him you're comfortable in your own skin, that you're not afraid to be seen. That kind of presence is magnetic. It's not about staring or making things intense. It's about holding a gaze with a sense of ease and warmth. Conversely, avoiding eye contact too much can signal insecurity or discomfort. If you glance away every time someone meets your eyes, it can create a sense of distance. Of course, some people are naturally more shy or reserved, and that's completely okay. But if you want to create a stronger connection with someone, allowing your eyes to meet theirs, just for a moment longer than usual, can be incredibly powerful. Then there's the way your eyes light up when you're truly enjoying a moment. You've seen it before when someone is telling a story they're passionate about. Their whole face changes, their eyes sparkle, they become more expressive, and their energy becomes contagious. Men are drawn to that. They notice when your eyes show excitement, when they widen in curiosity, when they convey a sense of playfulness. That kind of energy is irresistible because it makes the conversation feel alive. But just as excitement is visible, so is boredom. If your eyes glaze over, if they lack movement or expression, if they seem distant even when you're physically present, it sends a message a man can feel when the conversation isn't landing, when there's no real emotional exchange happening. And if your eyes aren't engaged, he knows, whether he admits it or not, that he's lost your attention. Your eyes also communicate comfort and safety. When a woman feels at ease with someone, her eyes relax, they soften. She doesn't feel the need to be on guard or overly aware of herself. That's why deep eye contact can feel so intimate. It's not just about attraction, it's about trust. A man who feels that kind of eye connection with you isn't just noticing your beauty, he's feeling a sense of closeness that words alone can't create. So the next time you're with someone, pay attention to what your eyes are saying. Are they engaged? Are they present? Are they showing curiosity, excitement, or warmth? Or are they distracted, uninterested, or distant? Because while words can be carefully chosen, your eyes will always tell the truth. And trust me, men are listening. The way you treat other people is one of the most revealing things about you. It's not just about how you interact with the person you're interested in, it's about how you engage with everyone around you. Men pay close attention to this, even if they don't consciously realize it. The way you speak to a waiter, how you react to a stranger asking for help, or even the way you talk about others when they're not around, all of these moments shape the impression you leave. Imagine you're on a date with a man and everything is going well. You're charming, engaged, and completely present in the conversation. But then, when the waiter comes over, you barely acknowledge them. Maybe you're short with them, impatient, or dismissive. You might not think much of it, but trust me, he notices. In that instant, you've shown him something important, how you treat people when you don't feel the need to impress them. And that's a powerful reflection of your true nature. On the flip side, think about a woman who smiles warmly at the waiter, says thank you sincerely, and engages with kindness. That small moment might seem insignificant, but to a man watching, it speaks volumes. It tells him that she's naturally considerate, that she doesn't see people as beneath her. and that she carries an energy that makes those around her feel valued. That's the kind of thing that stays with him long after the date is over. It's not just about service workers, though. Men also notice how you treat strangers, acquaintances, and even your own friends. Are you genuinely happy for your friends when they share good news, or do you downplay their achievements? Do you speak about others with kindness, or do you indulge in gossip and negativity? These things might seem small, but they reveal a lot about your character. A man who's looking for a meaningful connection isn't just attracted to how you treat him. He's attracted to the kind of person you are when no one is watching. There's also something deeply attractive about a woman who treats people with warmth and generosity, not because she has to, but because it's who she is. It shows emotional intelligence, confidence, and security within herself. She doesn't need to put others down to feel better about herself. She doesn't need to demand respect. She naturally earns it through the way she carries herself. And then there are the moments when someone tests your patience. When someone is rude to you, when things don't go your way, or when you're put in an uncomfortable situation. These are the times when a man is really paying attention. Do you respond with grace and composure, or do you let frustration take over? Your ability to handle difficult people or situations with kindness and confidence speaks louder than any first impression ever could. Another thing men notice is how you treat the people closest to you. If he sees you being affectionate and appreciative toward your family, supporting your friends, and handling conflicts with maturity, it reassures him about the kind of partner you'd be. It shows that you don't just reserve your best behavior for new people. You genuinely care about maintaining strong, healthy relationships in every area of your life. At the end of the day, the way you treat others is a direct reflection of your values, your self-respect, and your emotional maturity. Men may not always be able to put it into words, but they feel it. They can sense when a woman carries herself with kindness, respect, and empathy. And that kind of energy is far more attractive than any physical trait or rehearsed charm ever could be. Because real beauty isn't just in the way you look, it's in the way you make people feel. And that is something a man will never forget. The way you make a man feel about himself is one of the most powerful and lasting impressions you can leave. Long after the first date, after the conversations, after the initial spark of attraction, what truly stays with him is how he felt in your presence. Men, just like women, want to feel seen, valued, and appreciated. And whether they realize it or not, they are naturally drawn to the people who make them feel good about themselves. And this doesn't mean stroking his ego or constantly showering him with compliments. It's much deeper than that. It's about the energy you bring when you're with him. When he's around you, does he feel like he can be himself? Does he